Rightio. 1, 2. I did practice this, but I've forgotten what I did to get it really good. Hello, fast trackers, and welcome. Welcome. Hope everything's working here. Yeah, it's working. Okay, today I was intending to do certain things, but things have changed. Howdy folks, it's a fantastic dawn outside and the possum went by at 5:57 this morning. He's really early, or she. How are you? Sorry about yesterday. I had to go and pick up Patty from the airport. She'd been to Singapore to see our grandson, and I couldn't be here. So I'm here now. Okay, lovely to see you. And today's theme is you've probably heard the news that the great American singer, movie star Doris Day has passed on. 97, wow. And she had some great songs, and when I was a young fella, I wasn't that such a big fan. She was sort of cutesy pie and all that sort of stuff, which is fine. But later on, I'd hear her singing, and I thought, wow, this girl could really sing. She had such a beautiful texture to her voice, and she could really sell a lyric. And this is one of my favourites, and I know this is one of my sister's favourite songs, Secret Love. Now, I found a really rough version I did on years ago, and it's still got a couple of mistakes towards the end there, so excuse me for making a few mistakes, but I thought I'd muck around with that today. How about that? I know I had a few other people in. Silver Wings by Merle Haggard. Steve McKibben has suggested that, and Amazing Grace, KC. KC saw this a great version of Amazing Grace played by this boogie woogie player. Anyway, I'm going to muck around with Secret Love here. Just play a little bit. Talk about it. Nice song from Calamity Jane. 1953. Now, can be seen, yeah? Whoops. Yeah. Okay, the version I've got in front of me here. Ta-da! Hey, listen, did you get the Boogie Woogie email? At last! It's taken me about a year and a half to get around to doing it. Boogie Woogie Series 2 is out. They're a lot harder than the first ones. First Boogie Woogies I did were, in fact, the most popular YouTube clip I got at the moment is Boogie Woogie #1, where I show people how to just do Boogie Woogie with their fingers like this, and you go, can you see it? I get a couple of 1,000 hits on that a day. I don't know why. Anyway, people have been led over to my Boogie Woogie package, which goes like this. That's Boogie Woogie number 1. So I did Boogie Woogie number 1 till 11 to 10, and that's been done for about a year and a half now, and it's been very successful for me. You see it on the website. A lot of people enjoy that. I've finally done Boogie Woogie number 2. Series number 2. So it's Boogie Woogie number 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, it took quite a few hours to put it down and record it and all that sort of stuff. It's available on the website now. These are a lot harder. Something like this. Where you got 2 notes at once and, all this stuff. Right, so they're a lot harder. I intend to do another boogie series which just uses pop songs that you know, and you can do a boogie bass to it, like I did with You Are My Sunshine the other day. Yeah, anyway, so that's there. I'm really pleased that I got that done, and I sent it out to all the people who actually bought the first series last night, and I've already sold a few, which is great. Okay, now Secret Love. Okay, here we go. It's in the key of C, and I'd start on a C up here. Now, it's not in the key of C, it's in the key of F. This version of it. This version I've got in front of me is in the key of F. What does that mean? It means you were in the key of F major, and F major has got one black note. This one here. You got to know all your scales, folks. You can't just play everything in C major. Well, you can, but, there's lots. G. D. E flat. A flat. I know, you say, no more. Well, if you do one a month, you'll get there. In fact, in the studio here, I'm teaching D major. In May, I teach D major. In February, I do C major. In March, I do G major. Is it coming through? Everything's working? No, she didn't play the Coogee Bay Hotel. Clinton? No, I don't think so. Although, Doris Day, one of her most famous songs is When I Go Out to da 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 be. Will you be happy? Will you be sad? This is not said to me. Que sera, sera. That was a real corny little version she did, yeah. There's a great version by my name's gone out of my head. Fresh. Sly and the Family Stone. Sly and the Family Stone. Check out an album called Fresh. It was about 1973. That was a real eye-opener for me to hear this music on that album, Fresh, by Sly and the Family Stone. It's so funky and brilliantly performed and greatly arranged. And they do a version of Que Sera Sera, one of Doris Day's greatest hits, completely differently. So, there you go. Where was I? Oh, right. Yeah, F major. Right, so Secret Love, this version I've got here in front of me is in the key of F. And I'm starting up here on C. Once I had a secret love. Yeah, a lot of tunes these days, they sort of sit around one note. Like if Ed Sheeran or Taylor Swift or Kate Perry or someone like that might be doing a version of this song, it might go, once I had a secret love, it just sits on the... No, I'm being silly. But there's a tendency for songwriters to write songs with a lot of rhythm, but sitting on just a couple of notes, where this jumps all over the place. It's got a lovely melody to it. Well, it is 1953, so, they did write great tunes then. There you go. So, what would you do in the left hand with that? You've got to find a chord that goes with a C. So in F major, you've got the six most common chords are F, G minor, A minor, B flat, C. Good on you, Edward. Yeah. Perhaps. Da 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 da. Well, that song's almost trendy again. Da da da. Perhaps the... Enough. Back to Secret Love. What's the weather like over at your place? It's going to be a beautiful day here. It's May, which is almost winter here. We're only about 2 weeks off winter, and it's going to be 23 degrees. It was a beautiful day yesterday too. Here we go. So, what a chord. We're going to put an F chord with that. Why? Because there's a C and an F. We could choose another chord, but let's see. We could play A minor. A minor's got a C in it. So let's have a listen to that. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? There's another chord. There's a C chord that's got a C in it. So we could go... Doesn't sound right. F's the one. Now, there's a million ways you could play it. If you don't sing, you could just play it like that. If you don't like playing chords, you could just play it like this. Or you could take it to the next level and add one note. Put an F in the left hand. Feel free to say hello, folks, and say, I'm just making this stuff up as we go along, you know. This is your show. Next level up would be to play an F chord. F-A-C. Good. Next thing, you could actually play that chord with a ripple effect, like an arpeggio, so like this. Yeah. Then you could take it to another level. You could play an octave then chord, like this. Now that's a real popular one. It's a little bit hard though, you've got to get used to doing that. I've done it for so long. Then my hands almost go there automatically. But it's very handy. You could play nearly every song like that. Octave, then chord. Octave, then chord. What if you wanted to spice it up a little bit? Maybe you could do some little flippy things. You know when you're doing jazz? That flippy stuff. I wonder if we could throw some of that in there. Maybe right at the start. Doesn't really suit this song, does it? This is a bit of a pretty song. We don't need to sort of jazz it up much. You notice there's a real big gap there on the word love. Once I had a secret love. You know, there's two main ways of learning the piano, I suppose. One is to just learn. Someone gives you the music and you just learn how to do it. That's fine. But I teach a different way. I like people to understand a little bit about what's going on, and then they can do their own thing and put your own character into it, your own stamp of approval, however you want to do it. Like if you wanted to sing this song, you could just do a little walking bass and turn it into a jazz thing. So, once I had a secret love that lived within my heart. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Now it's too high for me. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. So you can jam it up after all. Or you could just do a really sexy nightclub version of it. Where's my cup of coffee? Gary Cooper. How you going? Gary, whereabouts in Jackson are you? Oh, you mean the Jackson. I was in Jackson Hole October last year. But that's up in Wyoming, I believe. Yeah. Hey, Ed. G'day, JT. I've got your huge letter here. I still haven't read it. I've got to give it time. Got to give it time. Here we go. You notice I'm wearing my tracky tackies? How slack's that? I should be wearing a 3-piece suit for you people, shouldn't I? Music, music, music. So, what about a nice nightclub version of Secret Love? Well, that's not very good. What if I played it down a bit? It's either too high or too low. Maybe I should do it in C. So I go. You can play it in lots of different keys. Yeah. So that's Secret Love. What was I going to say there? I don't know. How much time we got left here? We've got 10 minutes. A little bit over 10 minutes. Oh, Mississippi, Gary. I suspect your name's not really Gary Cooper, is it? You know, I named my business after a movie he was in. He played an architect with Patricia Neal in a book by Ayn Rand. I've never read the book. It's called The Fountainhead. And my music studio here is called Fountainhead Music. If you want to check it out on the website, you'll see some interesting characters. I had a jazz band in here a few weeks ago, and fountainheadmusic.com. But today we're teaching people music around the world, aren't we? We're teaching people the piano. Now, if you were going to play some nice jazzy chords in the key of F major, here's an F chord. You could add this note here. So it's F, A, C, E. That's an F maj 7. If you try to play it down an octave, it's too dark. Some keys don't quite work down there. You have, they're sort of either a little bit too high or a little bit too low. Next chord is G minor, and if you put an F in it there, in the right hand, I'm just mucking around on the scale. That's all I'm doing. Two notes together. I was listening to the radio early this morning. Another bad night's sleep, and they were talking about the Big Bang, And they actually have worked out a sound that the universe sounded like for the first couple of million years or whatever. And it was just this sound down low. It's quite interesting. And they were talking about how science and music, the sound of the world, has got its own symphony, basically. And us human beings have decided to grab them and make it really complicated with these 12 notes, which are just vibrations. I mean, that thing there is an A, and what you're hearing, which is what all music, all that matters, not what that is, but what you're hearing, is sound vibrating at 440 times per second. How about that? And this is 220. And this is 110. And this is 55. I got a magpie on the house next door. And that's 27 and a half. You can't even see it. Getting back to these little chords here. Another interesting thing I heard was I've always been fascinated with time. Where'd it go? There it go. There goes another little second, And we try and capture time through photos. But it's gone, isn't it? But we've captured time with our photographs, and we can see when we were kids and all that sort of stuff. And the other day, on the radio, they were talking about how human beings get 60 frames per second. They can see things at 60 frames per second, and that's what influences how time goes by for them, for us. But then there's these other insects where they only get 1 frame per second. 1 frame per second. So time obviously goes by at a different rate for them. And then there's other creatures that have a couple of 100 times per second. So this is all very interesting. And I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I think it's all very fascinating because basically sound is just vibration. And we've just put it into certain patterns which we like. Back in the start of the 1900s, composers got tired of doing pretty things or dramatic things, and they wanted to do weird things. There is music out there where composers have bothered to write all that stuff down. It's a lot of fun to play, but I don't know if anybody wants to listen to it. Could be handy in a horror movie or something. But it is a lot of fun to play because you don't have to worry about the notes. You just play. You just dance. You just dance as if no one's watching. But when you fall in love with a certain tune, like, you got to play it right. If you hit the wrong note, you'll notice it. No one wants to hear that, because they're used to hearing the proper way. So you have to practice, and that's a discipline. But when you sit here and do this stuff, who cares? You don't have to practice. You just go for it, and just have a good time. Now, if that's too weird for you, you can do things like what I was just showing you. F, A, C, E, and G minor 7 in the left. G, B flat, D. But you got to practice it. Yeah, you got to have your hand practice there, see? And in the right hand, you play any notes from the F major scale. Let's try the octave chord thing. Hey, let's try Secret Love like that. Hi, Doris. Thank you for the memories, eh? Thank you for the beautiful tunes. Did you notice that little thing I did at the end there? That was a mistake. But sometimes mistakes are good, you know? You got to go down the path that's not well travelled sometimes and just try things out, and you'll end up finding interesting little things. Don't be afraid. Piano is the piano. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to jump back at you and go, "Har!" It's just a piano. G'day, Thomas. Hey, Thomas, did you buy all those songs off me? I'm not sure whether you meant to do it 3 times, or whether I've got to refund you all your money now. I'm not sure if it was you, Thomas, but if it was you, certainly I'll fix you up. I'd like to just give you a whole bunch of songs, though, because I get excited when somebody sends me some stuff. I've got Jackson Mon, how you going? Always lovely to see you, Jackson. Silvio. Hello, Darryl. Long time no see. Gee whiz, yeah. Hello. Nice. It's nice to see people on there. I'm going to go. So, you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next Sunday, your time. It's Tuesday morning here, and the sun's about to pop up over the hill. Be grateful for being alive, hey? See you later. Bye.